Welcome, ghouls and gals, to the Haunted Library. Today I will be reading A Murder on 52nd Street. Book, come now, come. Murder on 52nd Street. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey, the robotic voice sang over the intercom, echoing on the crumbly walls. This Hallows Eve, I wanted to do something fun, so I invited 7 people to my party. The trick is to find out who is the wolf before the 7 sheep die. If you find me, you win. If I kill all of you first, I win. Oh, I forgot to mention, you only have 3 hours, then I win by default, and you all die. The intercom clicked off. Hey lady, you okay? He asked, shaking her shoulder. Groaning, she rolled over and swatted at his hand. Cracking an eye open, she screamed. A man dressed like a hot dog loomed over her. She backpedaled into the wall. Who the fuck are you? Why are you dressed like a hot dog? I don't know how I got here. Last thing I remember was going to the corner store. Hey, I found 2 more in here, another man shouted, running in dressed like a vampire. I don't have a lot of time to explain, but according to the voice, there are 7 people in here. We need to find them. Safety in numbers. That leaves 1 more. A woman rushed in. Her pirate skirt barely covered her knickers. Whoever's hosting sure has a messed up sense of... Not a fucking word. But yes, I lost my leg when I was 9, she spat. We gotta keep our cool, guys. My father's the chief of police. He has taught me a lot. Rule number 1, keep your head. Vampire said, helping Bumblebee up. My name is... We're just going to stick to costumes. Makes it easier, Pirate said, leveling him with a glare. You're not the one dressed like a hot dog, he sneered. Guess you have the short straw, Bumblebee muttered, smoothing down her yellow tutu. I got the last one, a woman yelled across the hall. A woman dressed as a witch was helping a princess from the bathroom. She might have hit her head. There was blood on the sink, too. Limping into the hallway, Princess kicked off her pink heels. I don't know how to walk in those death traps, she whined, ripping the tiara from her black curly hair. Now what, Hoss? We're all together. What would Daddy do? Hot Dog asked, spreading his arms wide. Don't be a dick, Zombie snapped. We should try and find an exit. I already looked. The windows are boarded up, covered in metal grates, Foreman grumbled, hanging his head, the light glinting off his orange hard hat. Maybe if we pull on a grate, all of us, it'll pop loose. Bumblebee shrugged, jogging over to the nearest window. Hot Dog and Princess were close on her heels. Sighing, Vampire turned to the group. All right, huddle up. There must be a way to weed out the asshole that put us here. Motherfuck, Princess yelled, shaking the grate. It won't budge. Oh, what the hell was that? Hot Dog asked, waving his hand. It felt like I got stung or something. Holding his hand up to the dim light, he rotated his wrist. Fuck this noise. I'm going to find a bathroom. Maybe we can follow the drains out, Bumblebee offered, taking the stairs 2 at a time. Holding his throat and gagging, Hot Dog fell onto his hands and knees. Gasping for breath, he crawled across the floor. White foam swirled with red dripped out of his mouth and plopped onto the ground. His hands slipping in a pile of froth, he crashed onto the floor. Hot Dog started convulsing, shaking wildly as if he was hooked to a current. His head flopped side to side, biting through his tongue. Blood pooled under his head. Jumping back in revulsion, the 6 guests looked on in horror. Wide-eyed, frantic. Does anybody know first aid or some shit? Foreman shrieked, his voice raising several octaves. As suddenly as it began, it stopped. The rapid rise and fall of his chest halted. The flow of foam slowed. Hot Dog's brown eyes had rolled into his head, the eerie whites of his eyes taking a red hue. That's 2 hours down, the voice said on the intercom. Better hurry up or you'll be late for Christmas. Cackling laughter became deafening. The speaker clicked off again. Pounding steps filled the silence. There wasn't a bathroom up there. What are you guys looking at? Bumblebee's words cut off in a scream, tore from her throat. Holy shit, is he dead? It's you, isn't it? You're the piece of shit that put us here, Zombie accused, pushing her into the worn carpet. Landing with a thud, Bumblebee looked between the 6 members huddled together. What? No, I was looking for a bathroom. I wasn't even here when he died. Standing up, she backed away slowly. True, but you were there when he was stung, and the only one missing when the announcement came on, Foreman chimed in. All in favor of killing Bumblebee for freedom? Raise your hand, Vampire said, intense gaze landing on each one of them. You can't fucking be serious here. I just went to check the bathroom. Princess was over there too. One by one, hands raised. 5 silent votes for murder. All heads snapped to Princess. What? I just don't think we know enough yet. 5 votes. Majority rules, Vampire said, nodding to the foreman. Springing from his seat, he pinned her arms behind her back. Bumblebee thrashed against his hold. Thrusting her head back, she smashed into his nose, knocking his hard hat onto the floor. Time out, y'all. Are we really doing this? Killing her? Foreman asked. We only have 1 hour left, and this is the only lead we had. What's best for the whole, Vampire confirmed. Yes, it's her. It has to be, Witch shouted. Just do it and get us out of here. Twisting his hands, Bumblebee's neck snapped. She fell limply to the floor, green eyes frozen in horror, the bones in her neck sticking out at odd angles. The door should be open now, right? Witch pleaded. Let's go check. In pairs this time? Foreman offered. I'll go. I can't stay here. With them? Princess whispered. I hope we made the right choice. We voted. What's done is done, Vampire stated matter of fact. Hey man, let go of me! Foreman's shouts echoed into the empty room. His deep timbre washed waves of fear over them, goosebumps prickling on their arms. Oh no, they breathed in unison. Rushing down the hallway, Foreman swung back and forth. The rope dangled him midair, his body twisting as he fought against the rope. The crank pulled him up higher and higher in the stairwell. Growing limp, he dangled like a sick piñata. You're wrong, was scribbled across his white shirt in red marker. Following the rope to the top of the steps, Princess waved from the landing, her pale pink gloves shimmering in the dim light. Time is up. What fun we had, Princess squealed from the top of the steps. Pulling out a pink gas mask, she tugged it over her face and pressed the pink button on the control pad. Green gas flooded the room. Screaming in terror, pulling the costumes over their faces, Pirate ran toward the window to pull on the gate. Trying to smash her face into the opening to get fresh air, the group began coughing. Vampire ran for the steps. Bounding up them, he collapsed at her feet, coughing, sputtering up red-tinged foam. He rolled his head to look at her, the blood vessels popping in his eyes. Stomping on his head, she put her hands on his hips. Don't be rude. I won, fair and square. You should have weeded people out earlier, silly vampire, Princess sang, twirling around in a circle. Her pink ball gown floated around her. She danced to the sounds of them suffocating. Inspecting Vampire, she took down the stairs, waving like a regal queen. Reaching out and grabbing the foreman's boots, she swung him hard in a circle. The morbid circus performer spun in the dense green fog. Witch and zombie sat slumped together, their vomit commingling running down the front of their outfits. Sashaying over to Pirate, Princess leaned in, tisking her tongue. Pirate's jaws was snagged on the corner of the rough gate, the force of her weight pulling her down like a fish caught in a trap. Bouncing on one foot, then the other, Princess hummed to herself. Kicking the prosthetic leg beneath Pirate, the metal limbs skittered across the floor. Every girl needs to remember her party, right? Flouncing over to the leg, she scooped it up, the artificial knee bending over her shoulder. Pressing the green button on the control pad, the gas began to suck from the house. The green haze thinned out. Pulling her gas mask off, she dropped it to the ground. Sighing, she crossed her arms over her chest, pouting. Maybe Thanksgiving will be more fun. Knocking the large picture off the wall, the frame shattered onto the floor, punching the code into the safe 1024. An electric buzzing filled the room. A pile of 7 phones and wallets were stacked inside neatly. Wiggling her finger over the pile, she plucked up a green phone, stamping emergency call. 911, what's your emergency? I need to report a murder. What's your location? Just stay calm and stay on the line with me until we get there. I'm sending help. So, I guess it's true what they say. It's your party, and you can die when you want to. Until next time, happy hauntings.